Okay, last year we brought you a sneaky peek from Point 7. Do you remember that? The Q-bonded sail. It was kind of prototype, pre-production. Now we have the real thing, the production sail. We're here with Andrea Cookie.
Yes.
You've obviously been out there racing this week. How has it been? I mean, it's been a crazy Defi, first of all.
Well, finally we had wind after 2 years of no wind, so it was good to have wind.
It's a bit of a shock, isn't it? Like
Yes.
it caught me a bit off guard. I came here quite relaxed and
Yeah, and also, also with the exhibition, we're used to just chill out during the expo, talking to people, having a nice stand, and it was trouble here this year. It's like everything was flying away. We couldn't put anything in the stand, so we could focus on the race.
Just so you know, this is the last day of the Defi. The wind has dropped a little bit. It's still probably windy.
Yeah,
but
I think if this was the first day, we would be on the water already.
Anywhere else in the world, we're racing right now, but
Absolutely.
the Defi, this is like, oh, we don't want to ruin the windy racing.
No, it was nice. It's like, spoiling the whole thing if we get some gusty winds today.
Yeah. Right, we're going to talk about the production Q-bonded sail.
Yes.
What's the name of this?
These are the Q-bond sails.
Q-bond.
Q-bond is actually the technology which is used to assemble the sail, which is not using any more stitching, but it's just Q-bonding. Q-bonding is meaning it's not hot glue or glue, it's meaning welding. Welding with ultrasound.
Okay.
So you're having a tape which you pass on this ultrasound machine, and it's Q-bonding, it's welding the panels together. And these are the first sails which are fully Q-bonded. The only part which is stitched is the mast sleeve, but the rest of the sail is fully Q-bond. There's no stitching on the panels, zero. And
so what is it? I mean, we've got to talk about it. What is the benefit of that? Because that's what people are going to ask. They're going to say, okay, it's got no stitching, but why do we want no stitching?
Yeah, some people think it's about the weight. Yes, you use less materials in terms of reinforcements, because once you don't make holes in the sail with the needle, you don't need to put reinforcements.
Okay.
So there's less.
Stitching almost causes a weak point.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
So you need to put insignia under each stitching to protect it. You need to put reinforcement to protect the monofilm from, or the materials to actually break. You can't put the needle into the monofilm, you just crack in 1 second. So there are a lot of things around the sail which are put just to prevent it from falling apart due to stitching.
Okay.
And in this case, you don't need all that. So what happens is not, everybody thinks, oh, it's about the weight. It's always about the weight, but weight is really the last thing. What is happening is that you don't have all that material, which makes the sail feel less direct.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have less layers, less. It's just like.
So the feel is
feeling
different.
is much different.
Like a softer
so
feel.
So let's say that it's a much more direct feel.
Okay.
So it's like having more reflex in the sail. If you put holes in the sail, you also have this stretch. So you have the stretch of the holes, you have the stretch of the thread, you have the stretch of the reinforcements, and so everything is more like it's like a soft elastic band. Here you have reactivity. It's like having let's say an aluminium boom or a carbon boom. It just goes, you feel it straight away. And what is nice is that all the pressure that you get in a stitch sail, it's like first the sail inflates, so you get lifted. And once you get lifted, you have to settle down yourself in the new stance, because to hold that extra power that the inflation makes, and then you accelerate. With a Q-bond sail, you just get the gust. The sail is not moving at all, so the stability is much higher. It feels lighter due to this, because there's no extra power going, like extra, let's say, movements in the sail. So you just accelerate directly, and the wind exits faster, so the sail is much more efficient, and everything feels much easier and lighter. So stability, acceleration, and the average speed is much higher, because you don't move anymore. It's much more easier. There's no movement in the sail, it just goes. And so, like say, in a long distance like the Defiwind, it's amazing, Unfortunately, we only had sails from 7.3 up with Q-bond.
I was going to say, are you using this?
No, we didn't use it because we didn't receive yet the smaller sizes of the race sails. So we only had the big, I have here now the 7.7, that's one of the sails. But yeah, the smaller sizes, we didn't receive them yet, the production is running. It's a bit slow at the moment because we need to, let's say, make the production more efficient, because it's completely...
I'm not sure if I asked you this, is anyone else doing Q-bonding? Because I remember there was a comment on one of my videos, someone said something like Neil Pride, and I actually didn't have the answer, so I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yes, I mean, if we talk about the competition, there are some brands which are doing just a few pieces, like Neil Pride you talked about. They're just doing at the moment like the clue area.
Okay, so they're doing
of the wave sail.
I gotcha.
And then there are other brands who are not Q bonding, but they are actually ultra bonding, which is with a gun with hot glue, and that's very different. Again, Q bonding is stronger. And this is actually the first sail which is full Q bonded. The full sail body is Q bonded, because the other ones are still stitching anyway on the edges. Here, if you see, I will show you now in detail, but
Yeah.
there's no stitching on the whole sail body. So
Okay.
that's a big difference. And it was never done on a race sail, on a slalom no-cam sail,
Okay.
not on a freestyle sail. It was just on some wave sail and just some
And
parts.
you're doing the cube bonding just with the race sail at the moment,
No.
or it's going through the range?
We're having the race sail, we're having the no-cam, we're having the wave sail,
Okay.
and we're also having the freestyle sail. So we're doing the
Okay,
whole
so
range.
you're going full.
Yeah, full power we're going.
Are you getting rid of the stitch sail, or that stays as a price point?
That stays as a price point for sure.
Okay.
And our objective would be, the dream would be to actually be able to do only cube bond, but
Yeah.
it's not possible because the production is much slower.
Okay, gotcha.
It's not, it's like you can do 10%
Gotcha.
against, yeah. So
Are the numbers in terms of retail price a lot different? Because obviously if it's slower, it's going to be more money, I'm guessing.
yes,
if
it costs a little bit more. It's like we're talking like on a wave sail, maybe 200 euros more.
Okay.
But I mean, so you can choose,
Yeah, yeah.
according to the budgets, what you want to spend. But for sure, the cube bonding is giving a big advantage to the sails.
Okay.
It's
And go through some of the features, because you were saying, I
Yes.
think earlier about
So
the battens.
if- yes, the battens, so if we see-
You talk me through how you.
yes. So for example, if we look here, you see exactly how the cube bond is clean. There's no
Yeah.
stitching on it. And the
It's
other
actually
thing,
quite crazy, isn't it?
yeah, and actually what it is that we are also overlapping the buttons. So there's no, normally the panels are put together like this. There's stitching and then the button pocket put together. That's one of the system how the sail is built. And the other one is like you just have one panel, the second panel, and you overlap them to create the button pocket.
Okay.
And this is how it's done. So that's already, again, taking away a lot of useless, let's say, materials, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
And now also our stitch sails are made like this, with the overlap. But so there's no stitching, and then we have the button tensioner, which is actually just screwed on with 2 small screws. And this makes it that...
Okay, so that is it, just that.
Yeah, there's no stitching at the back, so there's no stretching also here. Because if you
And
start
it's
stitching...
cleaner, I guess.
Yeah, it's cleaner, and if you start stitching here at the back to put the rope to hold the button tensioner, again, you're putting stitches which are then in the guts will just, let's say stretch.
Yeah.
And here there's zero stretch on the leash, which makes the leash really firm, stable, and that's what gives
Okay.
a lot of stability and acceleration also to the sail, not having any stretch at the back. And that's one of the things. Also, the mini buttons these are actually not cube bonded, but they are ultra bonded, so they're put on with a hot glue.
Okay.
Because it's not possible to go through cube bond on this this material. So it's hot glue placed in. We do some stitching on the edge just to make the sail look nicer. It would not be needed, but
Yeah.
I think it looks nicer. It looks like more a finished product, so we just do the stitching there. We're doing the mast sleeve now in only one piece, so that makes it again lighter, more reactive, more clean. You can see it's a very clean sail in the end.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
I've got to ask you about team riders.
Yes.
What's the plan? Because I've heard there's a new beast in town. I've seen him walking around.
Yes, let's say that this year we didn't really push on team riders. We prefer to invest into
Which is that
technology.
conscious decision
Yes.
now? So
Yeah, it was because we saw that there were not many PWA events
Yeah.
this year, and we wanted to see what was going to happen. It's a transition year for the PWA, I believe.
Yeah.
There are, I think, news going around, so next year we will go for it again.
Yeah.
But this year we just took it easy. We prefer to invest in technology, in new products,
yeah.
waiting to see what the PWA would do for
Yeah.
the riders. We have Tati France, of course.
Yeah, obviously. I
Which
mean,
are-
Tati obviously, unfortunately, can't be here.
Can't be here, yes, exactly. So, but we are again, our aim is always to find new riders, new young
Yeah.
riders, and bring them up. That's the fun of the brand.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what we like to do, new talents, and we have a couple of them actually. One has never raced before, but he's been a professional ski racer.
Okay.
He's 22, and he's accepting the challenge. It's like we need to sort out some stuff. And the other one is Matteo da Fiorentina. He's 18. He's from Lake Como. He's young, and I need to little bit.
But
trim him up.
it is interesting because, like you say, there's going to be different tactics here. We just see North Sail just go and buy
Yes.
whatever. But there's definitely something in when you bring those guys through and they come through with the product. There's a big statement there. If you
Yes.
can make that happen. I mean, we saw it with the original beast in the first
Yes,
place.
exactly. Sometimes I go to my dealers, and they're like, they don't ask me about team riders. They're like, well, it's just about the money. Sometimes they tell you,
Yeah.
So in the end, I feel like it's not a challenge, and
Yeah.
I like challenges. Like, for example, the Cube Bond challenge, was a
Yeah,
big
yeah.
project, and we were the first to actually do such a sale, completely like this, and it's working, And now we have clients which are like, yeah, we don't have the 5.9 yet. Do you want the stitch one? And they're like, no, I have the Cubond 7.7, and now I just wait for the Cubond
It's
5.9.
interesting.
So this is the nice
Yeah.
thing about the work we're doing, you know.
Yeah.
What brings you the motivation every year to do something new,
Yeah.
to keep pushing.
And you're obviously still pushing, you're still active. I'm always seeing you on the water. You seem as motivated as ever.
Yes, I go on the water every day if it's windy, and I mean, I love windsurfing. I enjoy it a lot, you know. So that's the main thing, and then I have the motivation to go every day, even if it's not a good day, because I have a lot of sails to test. I test everything myself, and I enjoy it. You know, I enjoy to feel the sail. I enjoy to find something which makes it go better. And you know, with experience over years, you know, you're like, you go on the water and you feel something, you change it and it works. You know, it's like it's not like trial and error anymore. It's more like, okay, I got the idea and it works. You know, so it gives pleasure, gives motivation, and. Then I have a lot of friends which are, you know, having my same passion in my home spot.
Yeah.
And we're testing together. You know, they're not pro riders, but they are actually real windsurfers.
Yeah.
You know, people who buy the sails, and when they go on it, you know, and I see them smile. You know, that's amazing.
Have you seen a push for the fin more recently? I feel like that to me, again, I'm not in Italy. Obviously, you're in Garda. It's a massive thing. Are we seeing more fins on the water? Are we seeing equal? Are we not?
Well, I think we see less foils.
Yes. Well, okay.
And more fins. We hear a lot more talking about fin. We see it here. I mean, if it was maybe 4 years ago, all the pro riders would have been on the foil.
Yeah.
And there were actually maybe 10 of them.
Yes.
Out of
a lot
50.
more fin. Yeah, exactly.
So it's like in the end, it's windsurfing is on the fin.
Yeah.
And especially on an event like this.
Yeah.
Then of course, if you go to some areas where you don't have wind, unfortunately,
100%.
even you need to have a foil. You need to foil, you know. And I think it's important to have the foil in that case. But
I think for the normal rider, it's kind of light wind foil, stronger wind fin. A lot of the normal guys, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, also at home, you know, I see when it's light wind, there are a lot of people going on a windsurf foil because it's light wind. Maybe they don't want to buy the 8.5 anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then as soon as it's strong, it's like there are a lot less wingers, there are more windsurfers, less foils. So it's a bit natural, I think. But you know, we made this year like a new sail, which is called the 9 Plus. I don't have it here because it's too big for the wind. It's a monster
It's not really
sail.
a Defiwind sail.
I put all the ingredients, you know, to make it go like in very light wind.
Yeah.
And we have a huge request, you know, which was not there before.
Okay.
It's like a lot of people who were foiling before, they're actually going back to 140 liters boards, 50 centimeters fins, and like 9-meter sails, you know, that I thought, okay, you know, they're big, they're kind of heavy in the end, you know, I mean, you need some power to go on a 9.
There's something nice about blasting with the board on the rail.
Yes, I love it.
Big fin. I saw the pictures from the IFCA World Championships.
Yes.
And I tell you what, some of the videos there with the boys on the 85 wide boards on the rail,
you know,
it looks so good.
For me, the feeling of a 85 wide board and the 9 meter is completely different to all the other windsurfing slalom that we're doing. It's, as you say, it's just hovering, railing, you're just on the fin, you're on the edge.
It's a nice feeling.
It's a nice feeling. It's a beautiful feeling. I love to do it.
It's usually flatter when it's like that.
Yes.
You know?
So it's the water surface is nice. You know, I do it also sometimes in the morning. You know, we have wind in the morning, Garda. So it's like 6 o'clock. You have to wake up, and it's not so motivating to go on a big sail and a big board. But in the end, it's so much fun that I know I like to get up and go out on such big gear, and I like it maybe better than being on a 7.8 and on a medium board in a kind of choppy, not really windy condition. You know, I prefer to go on a big board and the 8.6, I know. Yeah. And then, of course, it's the most. I mean, like here, you know, small board.
It's kind of like driving a luxury car. Do you not think that? It's like it's kind of got this.
It's like a Rolls Royce.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like slow, but like luxury kind of.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're on the small stuff, everything's a bit more.
Oh yeah. No, it's beautiful. But I mean, everybody who discovered, you know, the 85 wide boards actually love it because they like that feeling.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
All right, dude. Well,
Thank
nice
you.
to chat as
Thank you,
always.
friend.
We're going to be around the Defiwind today. There's no wind. We're racing around, speaking to the brand, seeing what they've got to offer. Stay tuned to the channel. We'll see you for the next one. Excuse me. Have you seen this video? This is a banger. Oh, there is another video up here we recorded a while ago. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. And a little tasty little beer icon here for me and Alfie. You know you want to.